the virus has been traced back to a lab in Wuhan, China, and I was wondering, since that lab, if it's definitely pinpointed that the source of the coronavirus, can you sue that lab and China and recover damages for all the death and destruction that it's caused around the world and in the United States? And the other quick question was on all these vacation rentals, a lot of the homeowners are not wanting to give refunds. So is that going to boil down to the contract and how it's stipulated in the deposit and in the way it's written?
Yeah, and I'll answer the second question first because I actually have a little bit of experience with my daughter and her job. She travels a lot, and she sets up events for, if you know what Rivals is, the college football recruiting camp, and she sets up all these events all across the country. And she has actually run into some situations with some of the rental companies, where they get equipment and tents and things of this nature. And some obviously are refunding everything, and some are refusing to because the contract didn't specify that. So it's going to be a case by case basis, and it's going to be what the contract says. I mean, the right thing to do obviously is for the people to give a full refund, but people don't always do the right thing. Now, as far as the lab, now I've heard rumors that there's a lab in Wuhan that may or may not be responsible. I know our intelligence is looking into that. They're still talking about maybe it was the wet market. So the bottom line is, number one, you're going to have to prove where it came from, and if and when they do, then good luck. I mean, I've had a couple of cases, actually, cases that occurred in China, and it's a whole different court system. And you're dealing with a communist government. You can file suit, you can get a judgment for all the money in the world, and whether you're going to be able to collect is another thing. We remember 9/11, and when Saudi Arabia had a lot of their nationals that actually piloted the planes, and there were a lot of lawsuits, and a lot of the lawsuits are still going. And I can't think of any situation where anybody has actually recovered any money. So again, filing suit, making a claim, getting a judgment, and recovering, a lot of times two separate things. So I think a lot of answers are still left to be, or questions are still left to be answered in this situation.